So much, Chair, and I just want to express my appreciation to the Chair for the little signs that give us the timeline. I really appreciate that, so I just wanted to acknowledge that. Minister, it's always good to have you. I always enjoy this time, probably a little more than I should. But I do want to ask you about the marriage after 60 clause. You know, we've had this conversation several times. You know that I've put forward a bill because I think this is something that needs to be dealt with immediately. And I'm really curious about the reality that in the mandate letters for the minister's position in 2015 and 2017, fixing this was in the mandate letters, and then afterwards it disappeared. So I'm a little bit concerned and don't want that to get lost. You know, the reality is we worked with a veteran who had plans to get married. And when COVID hit, of course, like every other Canadian, he couldn't follow through on that until a later date. The problem is that he was going to get married when he was 59. And because of COVID, he couldn't get married until his 60. And that means, of course, that his partner will not be able to access any pension supports after his passing. And I'm also very concerned because DND now has on their website a notice that tells members, by the way, remember that if you get married after 60, you cannot get a pension for your loved one. And here's the form to fill out so that you can get a smaller pension during this time, which means a lot of veterans are in poverty, so that your loved one can have some money when you pass on. So, you know, this is an archaic system. It's shocking that it's still in place. I'm just wondering if you could explain to me and to the veterans of this country who marry after 60 why their spouse does not deserve the supports that other members receive.
Rachel, good to see you. And thank you for all your pushing and making sure issues are brought to the forefront, and you certainly do that. And as we're always, as you're fully aware, committed to those who serve and their spouses have the support they need, and I know that you know that. And we have been working, and we still are, with Statistics Canada and the Canadian Institute for Military and Veteran Health Research to gather information about those survivors. We are working on it. We will use the results of this research to inform how best to support these survivors. The well-being of veterans and their families, as you know and I know, are so vitally important. Now, they've been doing a lot of work, and they've been doing a lot of interviewing, like Veterans Affairs has interviewed a large number of people, quite a number of people,
so
and mostly female.
Minister, I am sorry to interrupt you. I try to be as respectful as possible, but I understand that study, that work is done. And so I know that there's $150 million promised in budget 2019, the Veteran Survivor Fund. I'm just wondering, is this going to actually go out to members? I mean, this is a Band-Aid solution. For the interim, I'm hoping to see the action happen in terms of changing the pension. If you could just answer that, and then I'm going to have to cut you off again because I do have another question that I really need to get to, but please take the 30 seconds or so. Thank you, Minister.
Well, Rachel, I appreciate you never stop, for sure, and that's good. I can only tell you where we are and what we're doing, and I think you know that. And we are committed to doing all the research on this and making sure we have the appropriate information. That is where we are on this, Rachel. Thank you so much, and you wouldn't have to interrupt me again.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Minister.